Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to talking about people virtue signaling on social media, all about this current ongoing situation happening here in America. Recently there were some demonstrations that went wrong and caused chaos across the country, all inspired what they thought was bad racism happening in the US. Believe it or not, though, the racism really isn't that bad here, and truthfully, the people that are believing that have been race baited and had their minds warped by these crazy leftists in the media. And also, in addition, there's a lot of celebrities and other big influencers kind of supporting that theory. Today we've got one of them. Today we've got a video to go over from an actor called Ashton Kutcher. He used to be pretty famous back in the day. Now he's kind of more known for being Mila Kunis's husband and the father of her kids. But besides that, Ashton Kutcher used to be in some pretty funny movies. I liked the guy back in the day. He was on That 70s Show. He was in that movie called Do Where's My Car, which was really funny. And on top of that, he's done a lot of other comedies too. He's a funny guy, I'll give him that. But today he's kind of missing the mark and he's getting a little too serious, as we're going to go over a video he posted on social media. It's really bad, really cringy, and he's trying to, of course, support BLM and all these sorts of anti-racism causes that have actually become worse than the thing they're trying to fight. We're going to get into it. We're going to go over the video and review why it's wrong and why it's actually more troubling than he might have thought. He actually reveals a few things in there, specifically in what and how he's teaching his kids to act. And it makes you think, hey, he's kind of brainwashing them to be leftists. Not a big surprise there, but it is troubling to see someone so bold and so confident about it, sharing it in this video we're about to go over. We're going to talk about all that today and more, but first, let's take a moment to check out our sponsor. Hey guys, I'm real excited to offer you this new deal from US Concealed Online. With all the lawlessness we've seen recently with businesses and churches being looted and robbed and burned, it may be a good idea for current or future weapon owners to obtain a legal concealed carry permit. At this rate, there's very little our slow-moving lawmakers and brave law enforcement agencies can do to keep up and keep us all safe. So you might be asking yourself, what can we do about it? Well, for starters, there are companies that offer concealed carry certification courses just like this one, and it's the fastest and easiest way to get a concealed carry permit. To keep your weapon on you, you can get certified for your concealed carry right on the internet, right at this website today. While also helping support this channel, you'll be able to protect yourself and your family more efficiently. And you could do it right now in just a few minutes. It's quick, easy, and very affordable too. So make sure you check out that exclusive link below, and thanks for your time. Now, back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's jump right into the Ashton video. Here you can see him posting a vertical video with him kind of talking to the camera. He gets really serious here. It's some really hammed up bad acting, I must say. He might have missed an acting class or two, especially when it came to talking about something dramatic or serious. But regardless, Ashton's going for it. He's giving it a shot. He's trying to virtue signal and get some attention here. So let's see what he has to say.
So on Saturday, I posted a blackout of my social media channels and just posted BLM. And a lot of folks responded, all lives matter. And I want to talk about that a little bit because I don't think that the people that are posting all lives matter should be canceled.
Well, that's a good point, and I think the people that say all lives matter have a stronger point. They're saying, hey, we don't need to point out one certain race to get special attention. I know on the other side there, the BLM people, Black Lives Matter, think, black people need special attention because they feel like they're so wronged all the time. They're playing the victim. And sure, things could go wrong for them, but the point of all lives matter isn't to be against the black people or any other group. It's just saying, hey, we don't need to single out and be this kind of specific kind of thing where we're pointing out black people. It's kind of weird, honestly. Like, it's weird to hear coming from Ashton Kutcher, who I don't even know how many black people he's actually met. Does he even know any of them? He acts like someone that's kind of talking about a group of people he's never heard of before, like some alien group that he thinks he understands, but he doesn't. Like, that's how these celebrities come across. They're very out of touch and pandering, and kind of they seem like they're disingenuous too. Like, they're trying to act like they care so much. It really makes you think, hey, they probably don't. Like, they're just saying it as a front, and they're also getting on the side of this bad idea and this bad information.
I think they should be educated. we all agree all lives matter. But I had a really poignant experience tonight when I was putting my kids down to bed that lent the words for why Black lives matter.
Okay, we're about to get into a story. It's not going to be a good one, but it is going to be fun and interesting. But before we get to that, the way he says educate them, like it's a very high and mighty, like, oh, I don't want to cancel the people that say all lives matter. I want to educate them. Like I want to give them, drop knowledge on them. It's kind of the woke kind of idea. Like the whole woke premise is like, oh, you're woke because you're educated. You know what's going on. You're in the know. You're awake to certain, disadvantages and things that the black people are suffering from. And we're not denying that. We're not saying the world's perfect. We're not saying racism has totally ended either. No one really believes that, but it's certainly not as bad as people claim, and it's certainly not worth all this chaos and killing people in the streets and robbing stores and blowing stuff up and setting things on fire and getting other people hurt and spreading the virus and doing all this stuff. Like, it's not that bad. This riot is worse than anything that's happened as far as racism in the public. Like, sure, people have died getting arrested and people get killed and accidentally die and whichever, a car crash or some kind of fight going wrong. There's lots of bad things in the world, but the idea that these cops are just going out there and killing minorities willy-nilly, like, it's just not true. And in fact, there's a lot of truth to the fact that white people are killed by police more. And if you want to talk about race on race crime, something these people don't realize is, black on white crime and killings is way more than the other way around. Like, they try to act like white people are so racist against them, when really the black crime against the whites is far more. And they're killing far more people. They're committing more crime. And that's the real problem. That's why they end up interacting with the police more too. They're doing bad things. The cops have to arrest them, and that's just giving them more chances to have those interactions gone wrong. But these people don't believe that. They don't want to accept the truth, so they're in denial, and that's why they're pretending everyone else is racist.
So usually Mila and I put our kids to bed, we read them a book, and our daughter always gets to go first. And tonight, as we were reading her book, my son says, wait, why won't I get to go first? And Mila said, because girls go first. And he said, yeah, but boys go first. And I looked at him, I said, no, girls go first.
Genius argument there, Ashton. Wow, you're really winning this kind of debate of minds here with your son. Actually, your son actually sounds like he's pretty bright. He kind of noticed this hypocrisy in your family, because I think it's actually related, and it goes to show some kinds of faults and failures in the liberal thinking. I mean, they pretend to be about equality and treating everyone the same, making things equal. But then you have things like this. This little case actually says a lot. Now, I understand where this kind of comes from. Ladies first is the kind of phrase that you hear growing up, especially where I come from in the Midwest, in southern places. They have that kind of hospitality. You let girls go first. You open the door for women. You kind of, guys take care of girls and let them go ahead of them. That's a common courtesy. I understand that, but it kind of doesn't make sense with the whole liberal feminist mindset of everyone wants to be equal. You want to be treated all the same. And this kind of goes along with the race part too, because men and women aren't really equal for leftists. They want the women to go first because they want to put women above men. They hate men. Women aren't above them. And then the same thing happens with minorities. They don't want to just have black and brown and Asian people be equal. They want them to be propped up higher, and thus putting the white people down lower. That's what's really going on. And I think in a lot of ways, this kid kind of is being sneaky smart, like realizing the kind of hypocrisy here. Like, if we're going to treat all the races equal, shouldn't we treat both the genders equal? Shouldn't we treat people with the same sexualities, different sexualities? They should all be equal. Like, why do we give preferential treatment to a certain group? And that's what this kid is pointing out. And now we're going to see how they kind of explain, and here Ashton's going to justify his kind of hypocrisy, his double standard, the fact that he is teaching his kids that way. And it's kind of messed up because he's not really doing it in this kind of hospitality way, like I was mentioning, like just being nice and guys kind of taking care of girls, like doing the right thing as far as like a cultural thing. But no, he's turning it into this weird thing. Like, the way he already described it sounded strange, because he's like, no, girls first. And he doesn't really have an explanation for it. But he does tie it back into this BLM thing, which is very interesting, and it shows how kind of hypocritical and full of double standards they are.
And I said, you know why girls go first? For you and me, girls go first. And the reason why is, for some boys, girls don't get a go at all. And so for you and me, girls go first.
For some boys, girls don't get to go at all? Like, what is he even talking about? Like, I don't know what this is. I think this is some way of saying guys hate girls somewhere, or there's a lot of sexism against women, but I don't really get it. Like, I don't get the explanation. I know he's talking to his kid. I know he's just kind of giving them a little lesson. He doesn't need to explain the whole world to these young kids, but it doesn't really make sense. Like, the girls don't get to go. Like, the whole sexism thing is largely overblown too. Like, there's really fairness in America now, in the West, in the modern world. Like, men and women are on same footing, like almost always. Like, it's not that big of a difference. Like, sure, are differences. Like, guys do different things, girls do different things. Sometimes they're treated in different ways. Like, you might say, hey, what's up, bro, and high five a guy, and then with the girl, you just kind of wave or say hi or maybe give them a hug. Like, there's differences, but there's no like big disparity. Like, the wage gap isn't true. They're paid the same. They have the same opportunities. Like, maybe there's some people that might not like girls or not like this or that. Like, that's not necessarily the greatest thing of sexism. Like, if a guy wants to not be interested in treating ladies like princesses all the time, like, they don't have to do that. That's just a courtesy. And this is just going to show how far, and this kind of liberal brainwashing that this guy is teaching his kids, and he's a Hollywood celebrity putting this on the internet too. So we get to see him kind of trying to spread these bad ideas.
So when it comes to Black Lives Matter, I think what folks that are writing All Lives Matter need to understand is that for some people, Black lives don't matter at all. So for us, Black Lives Matter.
Oh my God, he's getting the worst acting performance of his life, dude. This is like he should be nominated for one of those Razzie Awards or something. This is really, really forced. Like, you can see him kind of looking at himself in the photo mirror too. Like, he's kind of watching his face. He's like, am I emoting enough? Black lives don't matter to some people. Okay, but really, let's talk. I mean, who is saying Black lives don't matter? Like, who is really acting like that? I don't get that. Like, just because someone died doesn't mean Black lives are totally worthless and everyone hates black people. Like, people die. Like, lots of people die here and there. There's accidents, there's killings, there's bad things that happen. Just because this one arrest went wrong and the guy died doesn't make everyone racist. Doesn't mean all the cops are bad and no one cares about black people. Like, you're missing the point, dude.
So while you may have the best intentions in saying all lives matter, remember, for some people, Black lives don't matter.
For some people, the Black lives don't matter at all. Okay, well, that wraps up the video. I think you guys get the point, and I think I can understand now why some people were saying that last line. It looks like it's from a South Park episode. Like, I can't wait for the new South Park season in a couple months, because I feel like this is the kind of thing they would parody. Like, I could see Cartman doing one of these videos, like trying to do a selfie, like act like he's down with the causes to get attention, get points on social media, get himself like in the newspaper or something. Like, that's what's going on here. This is a parody. This is like a washed up actor trying to act like he cares, trying to virtue signal, showing he doesn't understand, showing he's just this rich, out of touch kind of Hollywood elitist. These white liberals are just the worst kind of person. They're self-hating. They're trying to prop up people, which comes off as condescending. It comes off as kind of, you're treating them like children, dude. You're like, we get it. Like, black people matter. We all support them. Like, don't overdo it, dude. Like, anything more than that is just like you kissing their ass, kowtowing, like bowing down to them. And it just makes you look like a total loser and like a total like beta. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about Ashton Kutcher, his thoughts on BLM and this whole escapade that's been going on throughout the country. Also, hit that like button to help support this video and get it shared. And until next time, you guys have a great day.